In Dragon Ball FighterZ, sometimes you gotta mash it out. Since the early stages of Season 1, having a strong auto-combo has given certain characters a considerable edge against the competition. While these mechanics were designed to be a beginner-friendly addition to the game, as the meta developed, our community began to understand that not all sequences were created equal. While some excelled due to their excellent stagger ability, others were prized for their pure unga-bunga potential. Although autocombos are traditionally heavily scaled, their ability to convert wild swings into full strings make them desirable to professionals and casuals alike. However, the members of this list weren't so blessed, either retaining autocombo strings that are unnaturally stubby, sport less than desirable frame data, or otherwise make the player struggle where they should shine. When making this list, I made sure to reach out to the community, with over 5,000 of you polled. And by the way, if you'd like to make your voice heard for future video essays, subscribe here to this channel to gain access to my community tab, and follow me over on Twitter, where I throw you new polls almost every single day. So with the introduction out of the way, it's time we talk about the top 5 worst auto combos in Dragon Ball FighterZ. Hey, editing Dr. Blue here. To keep the debates from getting too subjective, let's lay down a couple of ground rules. First, we're judging their auto combo, the 5 LLL strings alone, as if this was the only tool they had. Would it be a boon or a bane? So jailing, neutral, range, frames, they're all taken into account rather than just their spam ability in order to view him in a more subjective light.
Let's begin.
Number 5, Super Saiyan Vegeta. Truly, the only thing putting Super Saiyan Vegeta on this list is its abysmal range. It is one of the only auto combos in the game that will whiff 3 full times from full screen on its way to the opponent, which is not surprising given the stubbier nature of the character. Its mashability in neutral in comparison to other members of the roster may be holding it back, but there's a reason why it's not further down on this list. Notably, SSJ has one of the more unique auto-combo properties on block, with excellent stagger pressure and the ability to jail the opponent post-vanish. It sports a 6-frame startup with only 3 negative frames on the first light, yet it becomes truly tremendous on the second light, where it's only -2, allowing base Vegeta to reset and stagger the opponent continuously on a much more consistent basis than the majority of the cast. Additionally, if you decide to let the entire auto combo rock, the third hit will truly jail the opponent, allowing SSJ Vegeta to vanish and achieve 3 additional plus frames to continue his turn without fear of being retaliated by a quick 2H or raw super. While a slight travel increase could go a long way to improving this auto combo, it's important to note that it has considerable advantage. An apt reminder not to judge a book by its cover. Truly, bigger things come in smaller packages. Number 4, Gogeta Blue. Despite the recent frame data buff to Gogeta's 5L, his auto combo is still one of the most unsafe in the game. While he does have a bit of wiggle room, his initial light being -3 on block, he loses all hope of staggering the opponent after the second light attack, it being a whopping -10. While the fastest normal to challenge within DBFZ is a 6-frame jab, this leaves Gogeta Blue with nowhere to go except to cancel into the rest of his combo string. Yet since we're judging on the 5 LLL alone, this immediately puts him on this list. Further, the final hit of his auto combo is a 26-frame overhead, 2 frames slower than the universal 6M. And while 6M may be truly unblockable online, the additional frames make it exceptionally easy to 2H Gogeta if he attempts this built-in mix-up. Upon connection, of course, this side switches the opponent, a considerable benefit to the majority of the cast and an excellent tool to have in his arsenal. Yet because of how unsafe it is in neutral and up close, it's difficult to deny him placement among the worst in the game. I love the character, and while his auto combo may be more dangerous than most, it's not outshined by his considerable combo ability, above average damage, and disgusting 2-touch potential. Something you'll see is a rather familiar trait moving forward. Number 3, Jiren. A very similar case to Gogeta, Jiren has found himself the unfortunate owner of a -10 frame mid-string in his auto combo. While the initial hit is safe on block, allowing him to stagger into his excellent 8-frame unscaled 2L for maximum damage, the 5 triple light on its own is rather flawed. Despite having limited mix-up potential on block, the developers cursed Jiren even further with the final hit of his string being a true Ki Blast. On paper, this makes an excellent anti-air for opponents hoping to instant air dash overhead the character post-rushdown, but because it retains all the properties of a true Ki Blast, it can be super dashed through on reaction to punish Jiren fully. While the second hit of his auto combo does have a considerable hitbox, often stuffing raw tags cleanly for a follow-up combo, it doesn't make up for the fact that Jiren is robbed of a true reversal on whiff, leaving him open to considerable damage where other auto combos would prevail. One saving grace is that his Ki Blast Ender is safe on block if done fully within the block string, yet because that is typically a standard feature across the roster, Jiren is left worse for wears. While he did receive considerable buffs to his other counters in the recent balance patch, many proponents of this character will continuously raise alarms to his above average recovery frames in hopes that eventually their main will emerge victorious in the upcoming meta. Number 2, Beerus. While Beerus' auto combo has a built-in mix-up, it's safe to say that it's struggled since launch. On the receiving end of notable buffs, this 5LLL has seen increased range on its hurt box, yet it hasn't been enough to submit this auto combo as anything less than block string fodder and occasionally a mix-up tool. After discussing this with the community, it became clear that many of us equated overhead cross-up as enough to balance out the string, yet where other notable overhead mix-up combos such as Blue Goku's has considerable applications, Beerus falters. This is due to the second hit of Beerus' light combo not actually having any increased stun time. Whereas Blue Goku's second light will hit, causing considerable hit stun to the opponent, Beerus' cross-up is only possible because it's activated by the third hit of this sequence. While this does allow Beerus to delay his cross-up considerably for maximum fake out, it ultimately robs him of further combo ability and stagger pressure. Further, Beerus is one of the only characters in the game whose auto combo can be called out by a true 2M for unscaled damage and further insult. Notable Beerus enthusiasts will know that the cross-up can be delayed by more than 10 frames, yet if the opponent suspects any deceit from the God of Destruction, they can rightfully challenge and blow up any hopes of offensive pressure. Much can be done to improve this string, yet until then, Beerus mains will have to work around the sequence rather than abusing it as an overpowered mechanic that the character truly deserves. Now before we get into our number 1 spot, allow me to come clean. I'm unsure about these next 2 picks. While polling the community, much of the discourse was spent discussing Tien and Yamcha as potentially the owners of 2 bottom 5 auto combos. Yet, upon research, I've concluded that they aren't deserving of inclusion in this essay. Sure, Yamcha's auto combo is very stubby, but due to the incredible active frames on the final hit, he's able to confirm off of more wild approaches than a majority of the cast. And further, if the opponent chooses to block, he can guarantee a safe tag in when at low health. This point was repeated to me multiple times, by the way, in the poll, and I'd actually like to ask the community, is that a viable tactic that Yamcha mains execute often? While his standing auto combo into raw tag may seem obtuse, it's nowhere near as strange as the seemingly 50-50 split among Tien mains on whether or not his auto combo is OD or downright terrible. He boasts better frame data, being less minus overall and also boasting more active hits, so if there were to be a 6th spot on this list, it certainly wouldn't be him. This led me to realize that Tien mains are simply unsatisfied with his current standing and want him to go even further into top tier by downplaying him for buffs. To that, I'd like to say nice try, but haven't we learned our lesson with Gotenks and Piccolo? I'll let the debates ensue in the comments, but for now, consider me unfooled and newly cautious regarding mains of these 2 iconic characters. And number 1, Super Broly. While it is a considerably good combo tool, Super Broly's auto combo is the worst in the game. Allow me to explain, because certainly the popularity of this character will drive up the dislikes on this video alone because of my heresy. You see, in a vacuum, not considering Super Broly's usual 2L addition to the string, his 5LLL is completely lacking in every area an auto combo should shine. The first hit is a 10-frame startup, cleanly losing to every other auto combo in the game on the mashability test. Yet where it excels in its range, it also falters once more on its frame data. The first L is unsafe on block at -7 frames, making staggering next to impossible, while the second light is a whopping -11 frames on block, literally over twice the amount of what's considered safe in Dragon Ball FighterZ. Yet the true tragedy arrives when you realize the final hit of Super Broly's auto combo won't animate on block or on whiff. Effectively, this means that Broly doesn't have a true auto combo string like the rest of the cast, as the third hit of his auto combo is purely situational, and even then, if Broly does manage to connect the two, many mains will attest that jump canceling the final hit of his string is much more optimal than letting the cinematic third attack play out, limiting its use considerably. All things considered, Super Broly enthusiasts and lab monsters alike know not even to use this tool on its own, as his standout 2L more than makes up for this mechanic, further overshadowed even by his considerable corner carry and damage potential. Surely his 5LL is reserved for combo extensions and potentially for newer players looking to get a handle on the character. While Broly is perhaps one of the most popular characters in the game, if not the entire Dragon Ball franchise currently, he's found ways to bypass his lack of a stellar auto combo. Now that doesn't stop it from being potentially the worst in the game. And that's our list, but what are your thoughts? Do you agree? And as always, if you enjoyed this top 5 breakdown and you have an idea you think might make a great video essay, let me know in the comments down below. If I enjoy it and make the video, I'll give you a shout out. While you're here, if you enjoyed the video, be sure to like, share, and subscribe, and thank you for all the recent growth and support on the channel. I can't wait to talk to you again in the comments down below and on the community tab and over on Twitter. So my dudes, I've been the Dr. Blue, you're incredible, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.